done with the news. Thank you so much, Brian, for waiting. It's a cold night.
Thank you.
Asante. Now, I think let's just get right into it.
Okay.
We've had quite a few fires the last few days. Yeah? In the country, we've seen lots of people losing property, losing lives. From where you sit, what are we doing wrong as Kenyans? What are we doing wrong when it comes to fires?
From my point of view, commercial institutions, residential institutions, and industrial institutions are not well equipped with the fire equipments and how to use the fire extinguishers. They are not well equipped on how to do evacuation in case of a fire emergency. So we are here to show you a few basic fire extinguishers and how to use them in case of emergencies. And just when an emergency occurs, how are the occupants allowed or are supposed to move to the evacuation
to the
fire assembly point.
Now, Brian, you're from Radar Security. It's a company that actually responds to a lot of these fires. So he actually knows what he's talking about.
Yes.
Now, they say charity begins at home.
Yes.
So let's start at home.
Yeah.
What can a common Kenyan, something has happened, there's a fire in the house, usually from the kitchen.
Yes.
Talk to us. What do we do? What happens?
From the kitchen, most probably it might be a leaking gas or you are cooking and you forgot anything that was cooking, you left without knowing. We use the fire blanket. We come, pull my fire blanket.
Oh, wow. You just pull it like that?
Just pull it. Make sure you cover your hands.
Okay.
Come on. Cover your face. You must be safe. Go down. Cover what you are cooking. Make sure it's tightly covered. After that, give it a few seconds. Come, assess. The fire will be off.
You can pull it out?
Yeah, if you pull it up after 3-4 minutes, the fire will be off. Remember, there are 3 elements. We have heat, oxygen, and fuel.
Heat, oxygen, and fuel.
So when you smother, when you cover it, you are covering oxygen. There is no oxygen in the fire. And when there's no oxygen, then the fire triangle is not complete.
So the fire
goes off.
And this thing can't catch fire?
No.
Fire blanket?
This fire blanket is made of fiberglass that is heat resistant up to 250 degrees.
Oh, so assuming I'm making my obusuma, my ugali, and something happens, I get distracted and I move away and it catches fire. So the first thing is pull the fire blanket and then just come, cover my hands.
Make sure you cover your hands.
Cameraman, can you get that?
Yes.
So we hold it from this way so that our hands are covered.
They are covered. Cover your face. Your face is so important.
So behind it and then just...
You cover there and it's free.
But these fire blankets, I can almost guarantee not many people have them in their houses.
Yeah, many people don't know even how to use them. They don't have them in their houses. And there's a simple gadget that costs 3,000 shillings.
3,000 shillings?
Yeah, only 3,000 shillings.
And you can use it more than once?
You can use it more than once. You can use it twice, 3 times when there's a fire emergency.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so I mean, clearly 3 times. We're not all planning to have 3 fires in our lifetimes, you know? I think once is good enough. I hear a question in my ear. Can a normal blanket, the ones we have at home, can they work? Yeah,
but through other media, a towel or a blanket, have it in water, you squeeze so that the pores are closed. Remember the cloth or the towel has a number of pores.
Yes.
So you put it in water, squeeze. When you squeeze, the pores are closed. It might act as a fire blanket, not 100% sure, but it might help in areas that don't have a fire blanket.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now, so we've left the kitchen. Here we are. This is our sitting room.
Yes.
And then... what if the fire is a different kind of fire? Let's say it's an electrical fire from the meter box or the fuse box.
Yes.
What do we do?
Remember, my friend.
Yes.
90% of the fires that we fight in Kenya are majority caused by electricity.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I can testify to that because I've been a fireman for 15 years.
15 years.
Majority of them, they are caused by electrical faults. And you find that a few people do overload the extension cords. So you find that the carelessness that they are doing causes the fire. So for electrical fires, we have different types of fire extinguishers.
Right.
Here. Number one, we have a dry powder. We have a foam, carbon dioxide. So for electrical fires, we always prefer to use a dry powder that knocks off
Dry powder?
Yes, dry powder that knocks off the fire. We always also prefer using a carbon dioxide fire extinguisher in a closed room. Because you cannot use it outside because of its effectiveness. So we use the dry powder. It's made of sodium bicarbonate soda that knocks off the fire. If it is a meter box that is burning, or an extension cord that is burning,
or a socket,
or a plug. You just come, pull the pin. After pulling the pin, you aim at the base of the fire. You squeeze as you sweep sideways.
Okay, so assuming, let me see this red thing.
Yes.
This red thing is our fire right here.
Yes.
To just give our cameras something to focus on.
Yes.
That is our fire.
Yes.
How do we actually
handle it?
How do we handle it? So that's the red spot is where the fire is.
Where the fire is. Okay. Now, is a very simple formula that we usually use. We as firemen, we usually call it PASS.
PASS.
PASS. P-A-S-S.
P-A-S-S.
Yes, PASS. Number one, have the fire extinguisher. You have it in your hand.
Okay. Give me one. Let me try. Which one?
You can have this.
This one.
Yeah. Just pull the pin.
I pull the pin. Are you seeing this? You pull the pin?
Just pull the pin.
Like that?
Yes. It must be easy to remove.
This one is... Oh, it's out now. Okay.
And then you hold it this way.
I lift it like this.
It must not be too close to the fire.
Not too close.
Not too far.
Not too far.
Call it a reasonable distance.
Reasonable distance.
Yes. So when you are there, you press the release trigger.
This one.
As this one faces where the fire is.
Okay.
As you press, you sweep sideways to cover a larger geographical area where the fire is.
So let me try. So the fire is here.
Yes.
Reasonable distance. Is this good enough?
That's good enough.
So I spray sideways.
Put off the fire.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah.
The red spot is our fire, and it's now properly suppressed.
Yes. And if it's an enclosed room...
Which one is this? This is the...
This is foam.
The foam?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a carbon dioxide gas.
Carbon dioxide gas?
Yes. It's best for classes C, E, and F fires.
Okay.
These are flammable liquids. Like the one we had recently.
Oh, yes, like the gas explosion.
Yeah, the gas explosion. And then also it helps with electrical fires.
It also works with electrical, CO2.
Classroom, yes.
So there is the fire. Let's say the fire blanket has not worked, or maybe it's bigger.
Yes.
So this is a thing. Again, procedure, we
pull the pin.
Take the pin.
Remove the safety pin. Aim at the base of the fire.
The base of the fire. So assuming this is the cooker.
Yes.
Just below the sufuria.
Yes.
Just below the sufuria.
Yes.
And then you aim it. And do you still do sideways?
You still need to sweep sideways.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Well done.
Fantastic. Yes. Wait, the fire is still burning. The fire is still burning.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
And then you put off the fire.
You put off the fire.
Yeah, the fire is off.
Is it possible? You can put back the pin, yeah?
Yes.
You don't have to, once we've...
Yeah, we can still use it.
Yeah. Brilliant.
But others have gauges.
Like this one. This one has a gauge.
Yes.
Guys, can you see this?
Yes.
It has a gauge.
There's a difference between this and this. You see, this is empty.
Empty, completely.
Yes, this still has some time to use it. Yeah. And we Kenyans never know. We don't take care of these things. We never know. We are just careless. We don't know how to use the fire extinguishers.
If it still has enough left.
We don't know if it's still efficient. We can still use it or not.
And on the day of disaster, that's when you find out you're in trouble.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So in this house of ours, or in this office of ours, we have put out a kitchen fire from gas or charcoal or whatever. We've also put out an electrical fire. What other kind of fires have you seen, and what other ways can we deal with them? I can see there's another
dry powder here.
Which one is this for? Dry powder?
For industrial fires, you will find that there are metals that burns.
Right.
Class C fires. These are fires resulting from flammable metals.
Like magnesium, for example?
Yes, magnesium, potassium.
I remember. Mwalimu wa chemistry.
Yes.
I remember. Mwalimu wa chemistry. I remember.
Good. Now, for Class C fire, that's flammable liquids. Flammable metal, we always go with dry powder.
Dry powder.
Yeah. Sodium bicarbonate, soda. Because it does two things. It cuts off oxygen supply and it smothers the fire.
Right.
Yes.
Two things.
Two things at a time. Right. So the procedure is still the same. Pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire, you squeeze the release lever as you sweep sideways.
Sideways, yes. Same thing. So once again, the red spot is our
fire.
Hot metal.
Yes.
We take it. Now you show us, you demonstrate. Show us from an expert's point of view, show us how to do it.
I'll pull it from where it has been installed.
Okay.
And then I'll come, remove the safety pin. Very simple. I'll aim at the base of the fire. Not too close.
Not too close.
Too far.
Not too far.
A reasonable distance. So I'll press the release trigger as I sweep sideways.
Oh, wow.
You see, it's a powder form of. Yeah, and then you are done.
And that's it?
Yes.
And it kills the fire completely?
Kills the fires completely.
Wow, wow. I wish we were actually, I mean, good people, for health and safety reasons, we were not able to actually set up a fire.
Yes.
I think if I set up a fire here, this will be my last. Watch to see Chomekazi. Now, yes. I can see. So now we've covered dry powder, we've covered foam
and carbon dioxide.
Yes. Is there any other? Or this is the same. This is carbon dioxide as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So majority will find that in commercial institutions,
yes,
we have other firefighting equipments like the hose reel.
Yes.
We have the sprinkler systems. In high-end institution, we have the rising mains. That basically is pressurized water. With the hose reel, is only pressurized water. You twist the release trigger, and then you sweep sideways.
You sweep sideways.
More so the same.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, usually when there's a fire, the first responders are usually neighbors and friends.
Yes.
You've empowered us a little bit of on what to do when a fire has broken out, and we actually have the equipment.
Yes.
Before, now you people are usually the first professional responders
to respond,
to get there.
Yes.
What if we don't have any of this?
Yes.
Because majority of Kenyans don't have fire extinguishers at home.
You're right.
Or even in the offices.
Yes.
Or the ones in the offices don't work.
Don't work. They are not serviced, maybe.
Yes.
They are not taken care of.
Yes.
They are empty, they lost pressure, you see?
Correct.
They can't be used when there's an emergency.
So now, what other ways can we use to try and manage a fire that may not involve, let's say, the fire blanket and fire equipment? What other ways? Are there other ways, local ways we can use?
Let me give you a slight thing that people don't know.
Yes.
In our rural areas,
yes,
we have these houses. Here is your house. This is my house, my friend's house, my friend's house.
Yes.
You are cooking some chips,
yes,
and then your house got fire.
Yes.
Your house is on fire. What are you going to do? Because you don't have a fire engine here.
Yes.
You don't have a fire extinguisher here.
No.
What are you going to do?
Correct.
Are you just going to stay and say, oh, help? No.
Yes.
Do this. For evacuation purposes, number one, come here, destroy friend F house completely. We have Pomoa, Beba, V2, remove everything. The fire will come to my house, from your house to my house.
Yes.
When it gets here, it lacks what we call fuel. Fuel is anything that can burn. It's solid, liquid, or gas. Okay. So it will come here, it will lack fuel, then the fire will be off.
The fire dies.
Yeah, it dies. So we will have salvaged
this other one's house.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We want to look at fires in offices whereby you have fire extinguishers that are not working.
Yes.
We have maybe the sprinkler systems that are not working. What are you supposed to do?
Right.
The best thing to do is between a house and you.
Yes.
You are so important.
The only human life.
Yes. The only thing you have to do is do evacuation. Make sure you are safe.
Okay, so we're in an office, we're in a house, we're in a school.
Yes.
We've had so many school fires.
Yes.
A fire has broken out.
Yeah.
Do I have time to go and collect my computer or my documents? Is that, would you advise someone to go back to?
Even your pet, even your wallet.
Even my pet?
Laptop, you don't have to go and take it. Remember, your life is so important than the pet, okay? So what you have to do is, just evacuate. Even
your wife or husband?
No, you can get another wife, my friend. Okay? So
I didn't say that. Radar security. Thank you.
Okay. So what you do?
Yes.
Make sure you evacuate, and if you can help your friend to evacuate, the better.
The better.
Yes.
So when we're talking about evacuation, what are the do's and what are the don'ts?
What are the do's and the don'ts? Right, now, we are in an institution whereby you want to evacuate. The first thing whenever there's an emergency to do is you shout. You shout
Raise alarm.
Yes, you raise an alarm. Hey, can you help? There's a fire.
Fire.
Can you help?
Fire.
Okay.
Fire.
So everybody knows that there's a fire.
There's a fire.
Number 2, you evacuate using the nearest exit route. Okay?
Okay.
The nearest exit route is the primary door that you came in.
The door you came in.
Yes. So we are going to use the door, get to the fire assembly.
To the fire assembly point.
Assembly point.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
A very brief evacuation. Hey, there's a fire. Can you evacuate the fire assembly point?
Moto.
We go.
So
to that fire assembly point. Our fire assembly point is here. This is where we are going to have our roll call. We're going to take a roll call and see who was on duty, who was in the office, and why can't we get Jen, Peter, where are they?
So first things first, we evacuate ourselves.
Make sure we are at the fire assembly point.
And then next is we do a roll call.
We do a roll call.
Tulikuwa na nani?
Nani alikuwa huku, na nani hajakuja. In that when the firemen are coming, office number 3, there was Peter. And we can't see him at the fire assembly point.
Okay, question. I can see our officers are very strong.
Yes.
What if somebody is injured? In the panic, maybe somebody slips and falls. What do we do?
My patient here has slipped down. You as a first aider or a fire marshal, what are you going to do? Make sure you hold him this way. Okay.
Under the arms?
Yes.
And pull him to like this.
To the safety.
Okay. Right.
When he gets there, I know the ambulance will come. I know the other firemen are going to come. They'll chip in and help him.
You need to show us again. You put your arms under.
You put the arms under. Then you can have this. Lock your hands.
Lock.
After locking your hands, you can
just
move.
drag them and you move quickly.
Yes. Yeah. So to the safety.
To the safety.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And then, so what if somebody has some sort of disability? You still have to try and lift them.
Yes.
Do we bring the wheelchair or do we?
The wheelchair will not work. Because you see, whenever there's an emergency, our adrenaline has a surge. You can't even locate the wheelchair and what have you. Yes. So the best thing to do, just have the patient or have the culprit to the fire assembly.
To the fire assembly point.
Yes.
Now, I can see here, by the way, are we compliant? Is the location of our fire assembly point good enough?
Very okay.
Now,
very okay.
What are some of the places that we can use as fire assembly points in our schools, in our homes, and in our workplaces? What's the distance to the main office or to the main house or all those things? What can we use as a fire assembly point? Give us some tips about that.
Yes. For an institution to have a designated fire assembly point, number 1, we need to know how many occupants you have. An institution from 20 to 50 occupants can have 3-4 parkings as a designated fire assembly point. But for schools, malls, these big institutions, they always should have a larger area whereby people can evacuate and assemble whenever there's an emergency.
What are the good qualities of a good assembly point? What should it have? 1,
accessible. Number 2, it should be not too far from where the incident has happened.
Okay.
And then number 3, majority you see, you'll get disabled people, so it must be accessible. Next to the building.
Next to the building.
Yeah, it should not be too far from the building.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Now, as we, so now we've, thank you, gentlemen, for that. Very good job.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that keeps happening during fires is that we actually try to switch off these fires ourselves.
Yes.
We try to use water, we try to use local material like soil and so on and so on. What are other ways that we can make sure, even as we're trying to help, you can forget yourself.
Yes.
One of the witnesses and one of the victims of the Embakasi gas explosion was telling a story on our channel, and she said that they actually got injured as they were trying to rescue people and as they were trying to put out the fire.
Okay.
Can you give us some tips on how to stay safe, even as you're attempting to put out a fire or as you're attempting to actually rescue somebody or go to the assembly point?
Whenever there is a fire, it tends to take the nearest oxygen because of the 3 elements. For fire to exist, there's oxygen, there's fuel, and there's heat. Okay, so the basic thing that a fire, whenever there's an emergency or of such a scenario, you have to lay down, you have to go down.
Okay.
even when you're doing your motion, when you are moving any patient,
yes,
you have to go down. Because of the reasons are, down you have oxygen, suppressed oxygen, and then we have the neutral lane, up you'll get smoke, and the gas.
So hold on. So in a fire,
yes,
the air closest to the floor is clear oxygen.
Clear oxygen.
And then right at
the center here is a neutral plane where I'll get a mixture of the decomposed fire products and the smoke.
And the smoke.
Yes.
And then up here
you have smoke.
Smoke.
Yes.
So you advise that when there's a fire, right, when we have fire, we shouldn't walk upright.
Yes.
Be as low as possible.
Yeah, even if you have to crawl down, you have to crawl down to safety.
That's very useful.
Yes.
What other useful tips can you give us?
Schools. Your clothes catches fire. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to run? No. You stop, drop, and roll.
Say that again.
Stop, drop, and roll. Okay.
Can someone show us a demonstration?
Yeah, I can do that. Come. So what are you supposed to do? Okay. Your clothes are on fire here. My friend here.
So this gentleman, his outfit is on fire.
On fire. Okay. So he's going to drop down. Can you drop down?
Drop.
Drop.
Roll.
Roll down.
Oh wait, it's stop, roll, and
roll.
Say it again.
You stop, drop, and roll.
So he has stopped.
Yes.
He has dropped.
Yes.
Next.
You need to roll down.
So please roll. Show us how to roll.
Wow. Fantastic.
Keep going down like that.
Yeah. You see, you are smothering the fire. Yeah, you are smothering the fire as you roll down.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. Very good. Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
My friend, compliments to your madam for when she's going to wash his clothes. Madam, please, this gentleman was demonstrating. It's for safety. It's for safety for our nation. Please don't ask him where he was with the clothes. Yeah. So now that's another. Any other useful tips you can give us?
For commercial institution, you have to make sure that you have sufficient fire extinguishers in place. You have to make sure that the extinguishers are always checked.
Right.
Quarterly in a year. And an
inspection. Do these things expire?
The fire extinguishers expire after 2 years.
Oh, they do expire?
The content inside expire.
The content?
Yes.
The CO2, the foam, the dry powder, it expires.
The content has to be changed after 2 years.
After 2 years?
Yes.
So it's not like if you buy an extinguisher in 2004, it's still good by
now? No.
Wow.
It has to be changed on occasionally after 2 years.
Right.
Yeah. And when you're, as I was saying, on commercial institution, you must make sure that it is serviceable, checked quarterly in a year.
In a year.
And it has to have an inspection sticker. Like this one here was inspected on 28th on this date. And the next inspection should be on 28th
of March 2024.
To just keep records and ensure that your fire extinguisher is serviced.
Now, Brian, you've given us some very good information. From your 15 years as a firefighter, I want to give you this camera. Speak to Kenyans from your heart. Give them a message, something you really, really want Kenyans to have. There's your camera. I'm not even here. Talk to Kenyans.
Hello, Kenyans. I'm Brian. For your fire safety tips, number one, make sure at all times when you enter an institution, when you enter an institution, you know the evacuation procedures. You have the evacuation plan. You know what to do in case of emergency. You have a right to ask the occupant or the security manager on the availability of the exit route and the fire extinguishers. Number two, at any time you are walking in a market, in an institution, make sure you are safe. Make sure the occupants are safe. And in case of any emergency, make sure you adopt by the three. Number one, make sure you alert your team that there's an emergency. Number two, make sure you evacuate using the nearest exit route, and if it's a high-end building with floors, make sure you don't go by lift. Make sure you go by the staircases. That's the nearest exit route. Number three, you assemble the nearest fire assembly point, and then you call the fire emergency units. I know Kenyans don't understand. I know Kenyans don't have the emergency units for fire response. I'll ask a question here that who will give me the emergency number for the fire brigade? No one knows, right? Make sure in every county that you are in, make sure you have the medical emergencies and fire brigade, fire emergency. For example, in Nairobi, I'll pose a question: who knows the fire emergency in case of fire brigade, or in case you need the fire brigade services? So I'll give you the number. I have it on my fingertips: 020-2222-181/2/3. I know you missed one. 020-2222-181. And if you find that the last digit, is busy, /2.
Put 182.
182.
Or 183.
Yes.
All right. Yes. And on that note, we consider this fire. And that is it. Good night. God bless you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, police. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Radar Security, for coming and teaching us this. Good people, we hope you've learned something. This show is called The Insight, and we suddenly learned something. That was Dr. Ofweneke, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Ofweneke, up to his usual mischief. Catch him on Radio 47 tonight and on Wednesdays on TV 47 in the evening for his show. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. I hope you've learned something. This is Insight with Victor.